What's going on, you guys? Back here in another video today. Today we're talking about my favorite filter. My favorite filter is the Tiffen Black Pro Mist filter. I love this filter because it takes out the digital edge and the digital sharpness of my image. Now I know what you're thinking. When you buy an expensive camera, you buy something with all the bells and whistles, you want something that takes the sharpest image, the most dynamic image possible, right? That is true, but sometimes these images come out too sharp in my opinion, and you need to take a little bit of that edge off so that way you have a little bit more moodiness, a little more realism, and that way you have something that's just a little bit more pleasing to look at in the eye. So I really love using this filter because it reduces contrast and blooms to highlights, and basically just makes the light look a little bit more even throughout the image itself. So when you put like a light on the screen or you're the sun or just anything in the screen, it just has an overall wrapping effect that you see, and it just blooms and it just glows and just has this like angelic ethereal type look to it, which I just find really appealing. Now you can get these in different strengths, going from 1/8 to 1/4, half, and 1. The more you go down, so essentially going from 8 to 1/4, 1/4 to 1/2, the more the effect will be more prominent, and the more the contrast will be lowered, and the more the highlights will be bloomed. Generally, I like to stick at 1/8 because the more you go down, the more your image looks a little bit more dreamy, and the further you go down, it just looks more like a soap opera, like The Young and the Restless or something like that. And that's not what I want for all my images. Sometimes I do, but not for all of them. So typically I stick at 1/8 because I can use this in all scenarios, in all shapes and forms, for pictures, videos, so on and so forth. So it's a good medium in between all of the different strength levels. It's something I personally recommend. Now with these different types of filters, I would recommend sticking with something like a Pro Mist filter from Tiffen, specifically the Black Pro Mist or Nisi, because the Black Pro Mist tends to not lighten the shadows as much as the other variations of this filter. And it keeps the shadows more intact if they don't fog them up or make them look really hazy or just unnatural looking. So they have the best ratio in terms of having the bloom and lowering the contrast without taking too much out of the image and degrading the footage a little bit. Generally, I like the Tiffen version as well because it doesn't have a color cast or vignetting, which you'll find with some cheaper filters. And all my colors stay intact generally when I set my white balance in camera. So I use this on about 99.9% of my shoots, unless I really have something that's really pronounced, like lighting wise in the scene, that's just gonna overpower my image. Or if there's something I need to get a little bit more detail for and I don't want to take the sharpness out of it, like a really, really tight macro close-up shot that I really need the detail for, or if I'm getting wording on something and the blooming just looks a little bit too aggressive for what I'm trying to shoot for that particular style. One of the last things I really like about this filter is that it reduces imperfections in the skin, which is really close when you're doing close-ups or shooting interviews or shooting people. It reduces the wrinkles, reduces the blemishes, pimples, imperfections that you just don't want to capture on camera. Because generally when you're recording video, you can't really take that stuff out very smoothly, very easily. So it's really nice to have that functionality already built inside this filter and built inside my camera when I record it, to make sure that I don't see those fine pronounced features that people don't want to see. I don't see those imperfections as much as I would without this filter. And it just overall makes the image look a lot more pleasing when it's a lot softer, and it just makes the skin look a lot smoother as well. So I'll throw an example on my screen here showing the differences between a close-up with the filter versus without the filter. And when you can see with the filter on, my skin is a little bit softer, it's a little bit smoother, it's a little bit dreamier looking, and just overall me turning my head from left to right just looks a lot better on this filter. At least I think so. Now you might be asking, how much is this filter? The filter is going to generally run you about $100 for the Tiffen version, but it's a $100 investment that's going to pay for itself in about 3 to 4 uses, because after you get used to it and you compare your images before and after, generally I would recommend taking a picture or taking a video with it on and with it off and comparing it side by side. And when you see that, you're gonna see that, oh my goodness, there's a dramatically different look. It's a dramatically different style of image that I'm capturing with the filter on versus with it off. And then it's up to you to decide if I like that dreamy, more ethereal type look, or if you just want to keep it tack sharp, 100% sharp, and just go about your day. If you want to do that, then that's cool, you do that. But if you don't want to do that, use the filter and enhance all the images, enhance all your video, and just add more character to your images and all your content that you're shooting. But that's pretty much everything for me today. Appreciate your time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna start trying to put out 2 or 3 videos a week until the end of the year, because I'm trying to average out 52 videos by the end of 2023. So y'all pray for me on that one. And make sure y'all keep tapping and subscribing, because it's a lonely road trying to do this by yourself. But that's all I got for you. Peace.